See, when you are surrounding yourself with so much of calligraphy, so much of craftsmanship, how did you start, using this India's traditional heritage and its super, craftsmanship into your clothes, and started linking that to the weavers in various parts of India, or to the handicrafts people, or to the sardosi workers, or to the embroidery people, and how that is going to be a part of your yourself, your soul of your garments. Is it true, or is it that you have gone beyond it?
No, I think from the very beginning, when I started my career, I was very India-centric, and I was a very proud Indian. I come from an army background where my father is a very, very proud army man. And it was instilled in us that we have to be very proud of the country we belong to.
Absolutely.
And that went on to me as a designer. So when I started presenting, and I did a lot of work globally, I presented in Cairo, in Nairobi, in America, in Paris, of course, in Italy, in China, in Morocco. So every time I would do a collection, especially when I do a collection out of India, I would do it inspired by India. So I would reflect a part of India. So for me, it was very natural to be completely inspired by our great handicrafts, our great craftsmanship, our artisans. So I think it was a very natural thing in my collections, in my, when I did a collection in China, it was all about the black and white Indian kalamkari work, and so for me it's always been about India.
But when somebody wants to ask you, what is the signature of Ritu Beri? Something which you have consistently, repeatedly used in your garments, or something which has now become very much part of that language of Ritu Beri, in the design language. What are those things which you will identify, and what are the skills behind that?
I think for me it's always been embroideries. I love embroideries. In fact, my first graduating collection from NIFT was called the Maharanis of India.
Oh. And
that was completely embroidered. It was a lot of heavy Zardozi work, and I think I was the only designer or student in NIFT who did that. The entire collection was very glamorous, very dramatic, very royal India inspired, and it was the finale of the presentation of the graduate show. So I think it's been embroidered.
That was in Ashoka Hotel on the fourth side?
That's right. So,
that is so beautiful, yeah.
And then I think my mentor, Francois Lesage, had a lot to do with it, and that kept growing.
That was where you did your internship as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that embroidery is very versatile. You can do so many different things with embroidery. It's not just about Zardozi or chikankari or whatever, because what I learned when I worked with Francois Lesage was that he would put paint over very beautiful embroidery. He would burn the threads, he would burn the gold threads, and it would look like a vintage, very beautiful, unusual, antique piece. So I think there's so much fun you can have with...
But many people say that what we see on the ramp is not what you can actually wear. And have you bridged this gap? And how do you define this, this hiatus which people feel, that is all for the ramp, we cannot wear it. But has the designer come down to a level where the skills and the perceptions are now getting to something which people feel and aspire that it is within their reach?
See, for me, and I think for most discerning audience, a fashion show is about creating a dream. And if you were to see clothes that you see on a street, high street store, or if you were to see clothes that you and I are wearing on the ramp in the evening, you are all dressed up and you're coming to see a show, and you are seeing a simple show with no frills attached. It's so
and
boring.
No drama.
No drama. Fashion shows are about the drama, about the mystery, about the whole... you have to be a dreamer to enjoy that. And also, when you're looking at a designer's collection on the ramp, you must understand that you have to see bits of it. You'll see the trouser that you can wear with something simpler. You'll see the jacket which you can... So it's all very workable. From the ramp to the rack, it becomes more wearable.
Ramp to the rack, yeah. Do you see any change in the last, quarter of a century you have seen the marketplace? What has changed in the Indian consumer, and how have your fashions responded to it? Basically, fashion is a response to the people's aspirations.
Absolutely.
In a point of time.
Well, the client has completely evolved from when I started to today. Today, the customer wants to create a trend. I remember when I started.
The customer wants to create a trend.
Absolutely. When I started my business and my fashion line, the consumer would come to me and say, we want to wear what this one is wearing.
It was a copy?
It was basically being safe, playing safe, and dressing according to what everybody else was wearing. Today, the consumer wants to stand out, wants to look different, has the confidence to start a trend. And the question that they ask is, has anyone else bought this? And if the answer is yes, they don't want it. So I think it's fantastic because you want to look different, you want to be creative, you have the self-confidence to walk around wearing something that nobody else is wearing.
So when a person now wants to enter this profession, it is a changed world now. And what kind of thing, when we were faculty members, we used to ask the student, take 10 uses with your dupatta for fashion marketing courses or design. We look at the portfolio of their illustrations or whatever. Do you think that these are the standard things which you should look for in a student now to seeing whether they can actually fit into to become a designer tomorrow? Is there or some other secret which you have discovered?
I think there's no secret to a talent.
Okay.
You have to not look at standard rules at all, especially.
And you said yourself you were breaking the rules and you were
because if
seamless.
Someone is a conformist who's conforming to a set rule,
a box, a sandbox.
That poor child can never be a pioneer.
I see.
In the design business, in any business today, you have to be an innovator. You have to be different. You have to think out of the box. Your ideas have to not match everybody necessarily. You're not right because you think like others. You are right because you have conviction in what you're thinking. So for me, I'm always looking at people to assist me who have a mind of their own, who question me, who don't agree with everything I say, who have a point of view, and they stand by their point of view. I think that is a great strength.
So are the designers now beginning to use other designers under their house, like Wendell is doing with, I think, Shulin Fernandez or somebody is designing?
But always designers have always had assistants to help them.
So is it beginning to happen now?
It's always been there.
I see.
Absolutely.
So it is. Are there really now design houses in the making in India?
Yeah, they are in the making.
Making in India.
They are absolutely in the making.
Yeah, we look at the world now with social media's impact growing and the digital merchandising, digital storyboarding, digital tablets, where you are doing illustration. All this have changed the way fashion cycles now work. It has become fast fashions. How do you see this changing the skills scenario, skillscape of the designers community and the new students? And are the design institutes and fashion institutes coping and reacting well to this change?
Well, I think it's a great change. I think the social media has made the world really small. And I've always believed that the most important direction that any human being needs to take is towards education.
Absolutely.
And there's no better way to educate yourself than through the social media. I mean, today you want to know something and you don't understand it, you Google and you know it, So the world is so tiny.
It's ubiquitous and available.
Absolutely, and I think it's a huge strength for the world of creativity, the world of design. I have people who message me from Lebanon and say, we saw something on social media we wanted. So you're reaching out to a huge audience sitting in a small little colony in Delhi. So I think it's fantastic.
So do you think there is a new designer emerging as a result? Who is not really doing yourself with your pencil, any sketches, or you're not draping and you're only digital, or is it that you have to coexist?
No, I'm a touch-feel person. I believe that digital is very important to brand you, to market you. But I mean, that's a personal thing.
Fabric feel.
I have to feel the fabric. I have to feel the outfit. I have to wear the outfit. I have to. It's a very sensual experience. You can't be so cut and dry on the computer. But you have to wear what suits you. If you wear something just because it's trendy and looks stupid, I think it's sad.
I think that is so well said. That is something which I think every designer should carefully listen to.
So I think it's if you look good in red and red is not in fashion, please wear red and look gorgeous. That's my way. I don't believe that it's necessary to follow trends.
Thank you, Ritu, because Ritu Beri is a name for thousands and millions of Indians. It has certain values, it has certain sensibility, it has got some aesthetics, it has got that global representation, global reach, and I think you have really excelled in your sphere, and the institute where we all belong to are probably more proud than we can always think of, and more importantly, I think we are very proud to have such a great talent coming out of India, and we wish you the very best
Thank you
for
so
your
much.
time,
Thank
which is
you.
very valuable. This will be a big lesson for the youngsters in the country.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.